Natalie.
What? You can't be serious.
Ooh, I can make that. Butterbeer has been on my bucket list since I was a kid. But I've never had real butterbeer before. Wait, I have an idea. After trying both, I think I know exactly what kind of butterbeer I want to make. The secret to a true butterbeer is in the foamy topping. To make the topping, I'm mixing extra creamy Cool Whip with butterscotch syrup. You want enough syrup to give it that warm caramelized flavor, but not so much that the topping becomes thin and slides straight into the drink. We're going for something light, fluffy, and thick enough to sit right on top of the butterbeer. Give it a good stir until the butterscotch is fully mixed in and the topping turns a pale golden color. You can taste it here and add a little more syrup if you want a stronger flavor. Just remember that the drink underneath will be really sweet too, so you don't want the topping to overpower everything else. Set the foam aside, then we'll grab a tricky muggle device that Hermione would call a blender. Add a few generous scoops of ice, then pour in the cream soda. For the closest flavor match, I'm going to use some of the official butterbeer flavoring, but I actually don't think this tastes like the butterbeer that you can grab at Universal. It actually says it's a caramel flavor and not butterscotch, so that hardly feels correct. But it does have a nice salty and almost smoky undertone that I don't think you can get in other caramel syrups. So I'm just going to use a tiny bit in my butterbeer to grab that deeper flavor note. The other add-in is sugar-free butterscotch syrup. Because the drink itself is already really sweet, using a sugar-free flavoring actually helps to keep the drink drinkable. Too much would be too sweet, so only a little bit is needed to infuse the soda with the butterbeer essence. The butterscotch gives the drink its main flavor, and the caramel adds a deeper toasted sugar note that makes it taste a little less like a plain cream soda. Blend everything together until the ice is completely broken down and the drink reaches a smooth, slushy consistency. Once the drink is blended, it's time to prep the mugs. Pour some butterscotch syrup onto a shallow plate, then add the butterscotch sugar crystals onto a second plate. Dip the top of the glass into the syrup, let the excess drip off for a second, then press the rim into the sugar crystals. I am using the official Butterbeer sugar rim, and honestly, this is as close as you'll get to what is served at the Wizarding World. And if you want to try either of these, I'll add the link to both Butterbeer products in my description. The sugar rim adds a little magical crunch around the edge of the mug and gives you an extra hint of butterscotch with every sip. Next, just pour the blended butterbeer into a mug. Leave a little space at the top for the foam, since we want a thick layer sitting over the drink rather than spilling down the sides before anyone gets a chance to taste it. It's so easy, it's just like magic. Spoon the butterscotch whipped topping over each mug and spread it all the way to the edges so it looks like a freshly poured butterbeer from the Three Broomsticks. After tasting the real deal in the Wizarding World, I'd say this version gets pretty close. It has the sweet butterscotch flavor, the icy texture, and that thick, foamy topping that makes butterbeer so recognizable. I'd say even Snape would give me full marks on this one. What fictional feasts should I make next? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget you can find this recipe and many more with ingredient amounts and step-by-step instructions over on thestarvingchefblog.com. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode.